Hi, I'm Selah. I am Deacon Senior and Deacon Janina's daughter. They're running late right now, so you can't really see them. Today, I'm going to be talking about I'm 18. Today, I'll be talking about the subject of pride. So, pride can be a difficult thing to find in yourself when you don't think you're doing anything of the sort. I myself am a perfect example of that. I never thought of myself as a prideful person ever before. Recently at home, I have picked up on a lot of responsibilities. I go to college, help with the kids at home, go to work, do my spiritual things, and a lot more others. I'm 18 years old, so I am required to start becoming an adult and taking on... Sorry. Okay. I am 18 years old, so I am required to start becoming an adult and taking more responsibilities. To me, it was stressful since a lot of the responsibilities just came onto me at once, one after the other, and a lot of them were some big, some small. So I started to feel quite overwhelmed, and I didn't know how to manage it. So I tried to manage it myself, since I hate asking people for help more than anything. I have been corrected on this part the most. I have struggled to communicate with my needs or important things with my family because I wanted to do it all on my own. I also casually brushed off advice or corrections from my parents because I already knew. So it's like trying to solve your own sin by yourself, which I also did. You can't. Only God can do that. We're naturally fleshy, and our flesh will constantly try to do sinful stuff. So trying to solve your sin by your own flesh is just like fighting fire with fire, or maybe even gasoline. God is a perfect being who doesn't operate with the flesh but the spirit. He's the only one who knows what's good for you, while your flesh only knows what's bad for you, which can lead us to make terrible decisions based on our desires. At first, I thought I wasn't doing anything wrong because I was trying to become an independent adult, and I didn't want to trouble anyone. But as I kept doing things on my own and failed every time, I realized and was told that it was all because of pride. I was very shocked by that revelation. So a story, I have been doing some pretty heavy lifting workouts recently, which resulted in my body feeling like it got ran over by a semi on the freeway. So I think that pain lasted for about 2 days. I needed to go to work and was suffering really badly. So I didn't really want to ask my parents because I was like, what are they going to do? So I tried to manage it on my own, so I took some painkillers. But that night, my mom had a very weird dream of me with back problems, and I kept pushing her away and brushing it off. I told her later that night, after she had the dream and she woke up, I told her later that night, and she said that she told me I needed to start communicating my issues so they can help, since that's what parents are for. I thought it was pretty cliche she said that, but that's pretty true. I should start relying on my parents. Ever since I got my license, I have been training to drive like every single day at least once. So since I got my job, I have been permitted to start driving to work by myself pretty recently. So since I've been driving a lot, I have been starting to feel comfortable behind the wheel. So my dad told me to only drive to work and back, but I started driving other places since I started getting cocky. I was like, oh, I'm a good driver, I can do this. But yeah, so I started going to other places without his permission, and that only place was just Walmart because they needed to get some body wash. But so I came home, and he was like, oh, so you finally started to come home today. And he started giving me a lecture about how I should follow directions and just go straight home since I don't know anything about driving yet, and I just started. So I never believed I struggled with pride, an act of pride itself probably, because I confused it with self-esteem. But pride can work in different ways, and sometimes you can delude yourself that you're not prideful. The truth is, we can do nothing by ourselves. Everything we work for that happened in our lives was all from the grace of God. Instead of trying to solve it by myself, I must fully trust God to take over for me. I don't know anything. I just literally turned 18. Neither does anyone else. We all need God's help if we want to be successful, or we all are just unknowingly operating from pride. If any of you think you know anything, you don't. None of us do. Without God's guidance, we will all be in a such more terrible place than we are right now. None of us made it here on our own, and it will remain that way as we grow together. So, can we pull up Proverbs 26:12? There is no hope for fools than for people who think they are wise.